Well, hello and welcome back. Thanks for coming back. Where are we? We're in central Paphos and we're going to work our way slowly but surely to downtown Coral Bay. So don't click off just yet if you want to learn a little route without going down to the coastal road until we get to downtown Kasa. Spectacality of a day indeed. I'm pretty sure you can see that sky. It's looking blue. By the time we get to Coral Bay, I promise you, that sea, it'll be looking blue. Mr. Paul, you guessed it, he's dressed head to toe in blue. That must mean one thing, all that is missing is you. So come on, get yourself on a big bird or a canoe, start paddling like crazy. Because Paphos, Cyprus, Marika and me, we're waiting, and we really are, especially for you. Big shout out to some of the guys that like to come and watch the show now and again. If you're in downtown France and your name is Lord Ronaldo, and of course you've got a French beauty, that's Lady Sylvie, we'll be waiting for you when you jet into downtown Paphos. But what a spectacality of a day indeed. There's no doubt about it. The weather, if you're curious to know, is 32 degrees. Humidity's a little bit high in the afternoon, but of course it starts to recede as the evening time comes, and it is a great place. That's downtown Paphos, of course, or Coral Bay, to go and get yourself a spectacality of a drink or perhaps a meal or two. This is the Anna Vargas roundabout coming up, by the way. They seem to have the fountains switched off, but a bit later on they'll be spurting their stuff up into the blueness of that sky, especially for you. Let's work our way towards the Masoi crossroads, and then we are going to work our way towards Ember, and then we're going to kiss the cusp of Tala and then head down into Kasa, and slowly but surely we are going to join the main coast road from Paphos to Paya and of course Coral Bay, and we're going to go for a drive down the Coral Bay Strip to show you some of its improvements, and of course name one or two of the bars and restaurants along the way. Big shout out to some of the guys, as I say, that keep on coming back. If your name's Lord of the Jake, thank you very much indeed. Of course, if your name is Sir Daniel, who's always wrong, because he's got a girl in his life who's always right. Big shout out to Lady Sherry Wright. And a big shout out to some people in downtown Glasgow. If your name is Lady Deborah, a little bit posher than of course Lady Debbie, and there's a superstar in your life called Sir David. We're looking forward to your return to downtown Paphos, and hopefully you're going to bring your Princess Millie, the girl who doesn't like her name mentioned, but actually she does. And a big shout out to some other superstars. If your name is Nicole, and of course there is a Sir Chris in your life, and you've got two superstars back in downtown Middlesbrough. If your name is Princess Poppy, and of course Princess Liam, we'll be looking forward to seeing you guys when you come to Paphos very soon indeed. And hopefully you enjoyed your pizza, and hopefully the doggy woggies didn't get to steal that much. Your mum and dad are missing you like crazy. Of course tonight they're going to go on the Ocean Vision, and tomorrow they're going to jet back to downtown Middlesbrough and give you a hug like crazy. Just up the road in downtown Newcastle, there is a girl who's getting ready to get on a big bird, and she's going to be grabbing the hand of the man who's always right. Of course, that is our Johnny Depp, and of course his girl, Lady Amy, and we'll be looking forward to seeing you when you arrive in Paphos very soon indeed. Who else is coming? Let me think. Lord Baron of the Von Cigar. That's our Lord of the Martin, and of course he'll be bringing the greatest accountant in the world with him, Lady Victoria, and we're looking forward to going on a cigar adventure or two, and of course sitting there smoking a big boy. Yes indeed. Big shout out to Dayman, and of course Lady Ness, and of course the man of her dreams, who she's remarried again, Lord Andy. Not long now guys, and you'll be getting on that big bird, jetting into Paphos, and of course strutting your stuff down the downtown Cape of Paphos promenade. Now, big shout out to the Lord of the Tesla, Lord Marcus. Look at these inulations. Oh my goodness. If you were in a Tesla, I'm pretty sure, hopefully it wouldn't catch on fire, but I'm pretty sure it would fall to pieces because these roads are absolutely atrocious. Luckily for me, I'm in one of the most reliable cars in the world, and perhaps if you're in downtown Yorkshire and your name is Sir Brian, you might just know what I'm driving around in. And it's about 5 years old, never missed a beat, by the way. Of course, it's got a T on the front and a T on the back. The only thing I'm not so sure about is the hybrid engine. It kicks in and it kicks out, kicks in and kicks out. But apparently it's all in the name of saving the planet and saving us a couple of bob or two at the pumps. On that note, if you do like what you see, don't forget, hit that like, doesn't cost you a single penny. Smash that subscribe button, doesn't cost you a single penny, just tells YouTube that you like what you've seen, and perhaps they should recommend the little channel known as Marika and me to more like-minded people like yourselves. But of course, if you would like to keep the channel afloat, if you'd like to keep us lubricated on these rather hot days, why not go and hit that link for the Buy Me a Coffee and gift us a coffee or two. Of course, you can also join us as a Superstar member, starting off at only a tenner a month. That's all it costs. So make sure that this little channel keeps on going and making these little productions especially for you. And of course, if there's somewhere that you would like us to go, drop it into those comments, and this video will be coming very, very soon indeed, especially for you. So technically this is Ember, as the sign is suggesting, and Tala is this way. We're going to literally kiss Tala, and then we're going to take a left, head deep into Ember and work our way towards Kasa. Then we're going to join the main coast road from Paphos to Paya, and then we're going to head towards Paya and take a left and go down the main Coral Bay Strip. So if you want to see what's been going on the Island of Love, stick with us. It's going to take us about 15 minutes from here, so I'm going to steal that little bit of time from you guys. And of course, I do thank you from the bottom of my heart. And if there is somewhere that you'd like me to go, you drop it in the comments, and you never know, that video could be coming very, very soon indeed, especially for you. Now, for those of you who know, and for those of you who don't know, there are two new channels on the block. One, of course, is Marika and You. That's where she takes you on her little trips into the handbag world, the dresses world, the jewelry world. She's even going to talk about how she lost a bit of weight, and of course continue hopefully to keep you entertained. Obviously mainly it's a ladies channel, but there is the odd man or two that's tuned into it. I know there's a couple of barons in downtown South Wales. Big shout out to those guys. Of course, Baron Jeremy and of course Baron Simon. And they'll be coming back to the Island of Love on the 16th of November. And of course that is a date that is firmly in the mind of Miss Graciliella Booth, that's Marika, because on the 17th they're going to take her to the Kid at Paphos Mall. And guess what? They're going to be flexed, that's for sure. Big shout out to some of the guys that like to come and watch the little channel known as Cars and Me. If your name is Sir Brian, thank you very, very much. Of course, the Barons, Baron Jeremy, Baron Simon, thank you very, very much. And of course, there are a couple of girls who come there as well. Dame Anne, thank you. And of course, Lady Alison, thank you very, very much indeed. Of course, your brother is involved with the Ford Motor Company, so of course there is an interest in there for cars. Hopefully you enjoyed the polishing and refurbishment of the headlights on the Renault Clio. And for those of you who are interested, that little car has now found its new owner, been bought by a gentleman for his granddaughter, and she's literally over the moon and whizzing up and down the streets of downtown Paphos. Let's take a left, and as the sign suggests, let's head deep into Ember. And we're going to wiggle and we are going to waggle our way through the extremities of Ember and head towards Kasa, and then finally Paya, and of course Coral Bay. For those of you who've not been to Coral Bay for a while, well, this year its refurbishment was completed, and to be honest, it really is a massive, massive improvement. The road looks much better, but most importantly, the pavement's where you guys are. And of course, it's allowed some of the restaurants to tidy up their entrances and those kind of things. Let's take a left. You see, streets that you've never been on. And on top of that, views that are quite simply worth dying for. Aren't they, lady? Oh, so sweet Caroline. And of course, the Lord of the Big Guns. Yeah, that's our Nigel. Coming back to Paphos soon, I'm pretty sure of that. And of course, there's a shop on the promenade that is waiting especially for you. Let's take a right. And let's continue our little trip through the extremities of Ember village. Quite a big area, by the way. A lot of expats live in Ember. And there are holiday accommodation, obviously, apartments and villas. Should we say it's, what, 15 minutes-ish from Coral Bay and about 15 minutes-ish from the main event, which of course is the downtown Cape of Paphos promenade and harbour area. And as I keep saying to you, if you have not been to Paphos before, so perhaps you're not so familiar with the area, and let's say you find that perfect place to stay, whether it's a hotel, an apartment complex or a villa, why not drop it in the comments and tell us what you want from your holiday, and then ask our opinion if perhaps you've chosen the right place. Because often your holiday can be destroyed because you find you're not in the location that you actually wanted to be. That's not to say that the accommodation is not lovely, but you find that perhaps you need to get a bus all the time, you are out in the middle of nowhere, you need to hire a car, and those kind of things. Now, lots of people like that kind of holiday, and they are expecting to hire a car, but they want the peace and the tranquility of perhaps living that little bit further away from that blue Mediterranean Sea. So please drop in the comments and we'll do our very, very best to give you our impartial view of what we think that you are perhaps considering to choose. Paphos is to the left, about 10 kilometres, and Paya is to the right, again, around about 10 kilometres. So sit back and relax, get yourself a nice cup of tea or something like that. I am going to light up the big boy cigar and I'm going to have a slurp on my nice can of chilled Coca-Cola. So I'll let you enjoy the views for a second or two. This is Kasa Villager, by the way. You can't beat a slurp from a can of the real thing. Coca-Cola, full fat, that's what you like. Keeps you rejuvenated when you're driving around on the streets of Paphos. So here we are, downtown Kasa. This is the older part of the village, by the way. And of course there is Kasa down by the sea as well. So again, confusion. So if you were booking somewhere, it will say Kasa in its address, obviously, but that doesn't actually mean that you are down by the sea. So please drop it in the comments and give us its address, and we will tell you exactly where it is, and hopefully you'll be making that perfect choice on that holiday when you come to downtown Paphos. Speed bumps everywhere, you see, on top of all the undulations. But luckily, this car's got quite a smooth ride, to be fair, for a small little hatchback. And remember, these roads really, really are Sherlock Holmes. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you're curious to know what is he on about when he says Sherlock Holmes, it goes back a long, long way. One day, we were making a video in downtown Cape of Paphos, and I was talking some mumbo jumbo, as I do, and Marika was about to say, you're talking a load of old, S-H-I-T, and she improvised with the word Sherlock Holmes, and from that moment on, those words stuck. So no disrespect to the greatest detective that the world has ever known, but whenever we come across a bad road or something that's not very good, we say Sherlock Holmes. And it's quite funny when we meet people and they tell us they use our phrases, Sherlock Holmes, chopsy mopsy, when the sea is a bit bouncy bouncy, when the weather's not too good. And I was sent a picture yesterday by a young lady from Lofty's Bar, and apparently there was someone in there looking for us. Her name is Sarah. Big hello to you, Sarah. And she was wearing a t-shirt that said blue Mediterranean Sea. And we do thank you very, very much for that. Unfortunately, you didn't buy it off us, but of course you can't at the moment. But don't worry, slowly but surely, there will be a website coming for Marika and me, and you'll be able to buy t-shirts and hats and sunglasses, all sorts of bits and bobs, even a beer coaster with my face on it, and you can smash your can down it. Don't worry, I can afford to buy a new pair of teeth. Don't worry. So here we are. We're coming to the extremities of Midtown Kasa, shall we call it, and slowly but surely we are going to join the main coast road from Paphos to Paya or Coral Bay, and you are going to get a view quite simply worth dying for. I promised you at the start of the video that the sea was blue. Feast your eyes and digest. There it is in all of its glory, turquoisey blue, and it's waiting especially for you. You feast your eyes and I'm going to light the big boy. Now that's a view, there's no doubt about it. Even though they're trying to build new villas to try and block it that little bit, it's still a view quite simply worth dying for. So this is what we call the Kasa crossroads. The lights are always on stop, by the way, but isn't that the case all over the world? They're always on red to slow us down. So there's no point in speeding, by the way, especially if you're in downtown Paphos. Perhaps you've borrowed a car, stolen a car, or even rented a car. I warn you now, stick to the speed limits. The boys and the girls in blue, they are waiting, and they really, really are waiting, especially for you. Predominantly, the speed limit is 50 kilometers an hour. If you're coming from the UK, that's 30 miles an hour. So you're quite used to driving around at that speed, so just stick to it. Even on the faster stretches, go to about 65, 70, and you're not going to go far wrong. And remember, there's also little camera vans parked up as well. And on top of that, some of the traffic lights now have got traffic control cameras, so they catch you if you don't stop at the line. And of course they catch you if you boot it and go speeding as well. So please drive very, very carefully. You're not going to get there any quicker. If you're late, you're late. It's as simple as that. But information for you there, if you are in Kasa or perhaps in Paya, that right in front of us is the Bayside kiosk. Great selection of cigars, but it's like a mini market. It's like an Aladdin's cave when you go in there. Pretty much everything you can want for that fridge. And of course, on top of that, they've got lots of things that you may have forgotten or you may want, like blow-up dinghies, inflatables, shorts, sunglasses, all those kind of things at a reasonable price. So if you are missing something, Bayside Kiosk, if you're in this kind of area, and it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, one of the most popular and most famous beach bars in the whole of Paphos is this one, and of course it's called the CU Beach Bar. And if you go in there, oh my goodness, you're going to get a view straight out into the blueness of that blue Mediterranean Sea, and it's going to take your breath away. And of course you'll get yourself a nice can of Kio, and of course, absolutely lovely. In the distance now, the peninsula sticking out on the left-hand side, that is Coral Bay. Plenty of hotels, apartments and villas in there. So again, if you fancy one, drop in the comments and we'll go and hunt it down and tell you what we think of it. Of course, on the right-hand side, that is the hillside of Paya, and there's many villas and apartment complexes in there. And of course, as I say, Paya and Coral Bay are a totally different type of holiday to downtown Paphos. So drop in the comments what kind of holiday are you looking for, and of course the name and address of the apartment, the villa or the hotel that you've chosen, and we'll do our very, very best to give you an impartial review and some advice on it. And we'd also like you to drop in the comments and guide us into what kind of videos that you would like. I'd like to say a big shout out to Lady Anthea, who put a nice comment the other day to say that our channel when it first started was very, very good, and we thank you for that, and hopefully it's still very, very good. But yes, I do agree, we spend too much time in downtown Paphos. Slowly but surely that is changing. Hopefully you enjoyed the next video that's going to come onto your screens. I'm not going to give the game away, but it's an exciting little adventure somewhere just outside Paphos, and hopefully you'll come back for that video that little bit later, and hopefully you're going to enjoy it. And if you do, drop it in the comments and tell us if you'd like more similar videos. Tell us where you want us to go, and we'll do our very, very best to make these videos into a reality and put them onto YouTube, especially for you. So this is the final stretch now. Technically, we are now leaving Kasoniga, and there is a sign coming up with green writing on a white background that says welcome to the Paya municipality. And Paya is a huge area, by the way. It encompasses Paya, what we call Lower Paya, Mid Paya, Upper Paya, Coral Bay, Sea Caves, and of course Argus St. George. And if you want to see videos on those places, again, hunt in the YouTube search bar Marika and me Sea Caves, Marika and me Argus St. George, or St. George, Marika and me Paya, and those videos will come up, and we'll be dancing, we'll be prancing, or I'll be driving around, especially for you. So this is it. We're going to take a left onto the Coral Bay Strip, and we're going to name one or two of the restaurants and bars along the way. I suppose most importantly is the Bank of Cyprus there on the right hand side. If you want a bit of spondoolies like that gentleman's doing, he's going to get his plastic friend out, pop it in the machine, pop in his code, and hopefully it'll chuck him some money, and then he can start his adventure on this, which is the Coral Bay Strip. You've got Zita's Bar, one or two people sitting there. You've got the Coral Bay Health Clinic. If you happen to fall over or something like that, that's where you'd pop in. You've got the Crystal Kiosk and Mini Market. You've got Chalky's Bar. Plenty of bars, plenty of restaurants. I'm pretty sure if you're in Coral Bay, there's enough here to keep you entertained for a couple of weeks or so. Othello's, they do a fabulous breakfast in there, by the way. You've got Cleo's, there's a Chinese restaurant, there's a Japanese restaurant, you name it, Coral Bay has got it all. So it could be that self-contained holiday for you if you're in one of the villas around the back, or perhaps in one or two of the hotels. And if you're coming from Paphos, right on cue, that's the bus number 615. Runs about every 20 to 30 minutes, and it's €2 each way. And of course this bus will take you around Coral Bay and then take you back to the Tomb of the Kings bus terminal. And if you wanted to walk into the harbour from there, it'll take you about 15 to 20 minutes, or you can get on another bus, and of course that will take you into the harbour and Cato Paphos area. Each bus trip is €2 per person. Perhaps if you're clever, you might consider to buy yourself a day pass, and that is $6.50 for the whole day. And of course you can hop on and off as many buses as you would like. I'm going to say thanks for watching, and of course if you like what you see, hit that like, smash that subscribe. Please don't forget to keep on coming back for that little bit more of my complete and utter madness as I take you on my travels in and around Paphos. And of course, why not go and hunt us down on that Buy Me a Coffee platform and gift us that virtual coffee or two as a thank you, as a gesture of goodwill. Thanks for watching, and I will look forward to your company again very, very soon indeed. You see, as I said, 615, and that's going to take you all the way back to the Tomb of the Kings for only €2. And they run about every 20 to 30 minutes. Thanks for watching.